So tell me your name first, Vince.
Vince.
Last name?
Frain.
Frain. And?
Lila.
Lila. Hi, Lila.
She uses a different last name than me. I don't know why.
All right.
She doesn't want to be associated with me too closely.
All right. Well, tell me how you know my dad.
Well, I know him by reputation first. In fact, I've seen him on like the Johnny Carson show. So I take it back. The first time I saw your dad, wow, I probably was Bend, Oregon, 1976. It could have been before, but I can't really remember. And that was quite an interesting time there. Okay.
Well, tell me about it.
Any pool player that was in Bend, Oregon was well aware of your dad. He was sort of the limelight there. They had an upstairs, well, the tournament itself in Bend, Oregon was one of the Weenie events, World Open 8-ball, 9-ball Championship. Richie Florence, Ronnie Allen, they put together a half a dozen of those real successful events. The Bend, Oregon event, I think, was really special because here we are in the middle of Oregon, and it attracted the absolute best pool players, in the country, which was the whole world. We thought at the time, and really wasn't in pool. And your dad was an acknowledged celebrity in the game at the time, and he. So here we are at the end of the 7th Mountain, which is a ski resort out of Bend, Oregon, up around 10,000 feet. And it's a 2-week-long, 24-hour day action event, sort of like we had here at Derby City. And there was several side rooms for gambling, and the special side room was upstairs from the tournament area, and there had been a 10-foot snooker, 12-foot snooker table set up, and one pool table, and a blackjack table. And your dad, he was sort of in charge of the gambling, and he had a really good blackjack game going. In fact, I think he supposedly won 30,000, 40,000 just off that blackjack game. And I sort of remember him because Jimmy Mattia was feeling good, and he was a little bit tipsy, and your dad and him got in a little bit of a spat about somebody not gambling or something, and the next thing you know, they were flipping a coin for $8,000, and something happened, and Mattia fell over on the stairway. It was a classic, yeah, and just an everyday occurrence there, in the life of the. But anyway. Then the next time I really remember your dad was in Austin, Texas. Now we go up a few years. I think it was '83. Sid Mann, big tycoon, at his one of his complexes in Austin had the real nice tournament. No, I take it back. The next time I remember your dad was in Sacramento.
Yeah.
About '77. Yeah. You got to turn that off for a minute.
Yeah, it's just for private use.
So anyway, now I'm just out of the Army. Did my 2-year stretch in the Army, got drafted, and I'd been living in Los Angeles and been running around before I got drafted. And I'm on my way from LA to Alaska. I thought I had a fishing job, and well, actually, I was absolutely a loose, what do they call it, a rolling stone, right? But I'm visiting. I dropped through Seattle because I had this brand new car. Back when you could drive a car for nothing, you had just deliver cars, and they actually pay for your gas. So I got this brand new car and not a dime on me. And I run out of money, but I'm in Seattle. And I'm looking up my roots because that's where I was born. And now I'm back in my 20s, right? And I ran into Lila.
Awesome.
And the most unusual way that we got together, sort of incredible. This could be a long story. This is more.
Let's see.
So it's 1969, and I walk in a place called the 211 Club. I see the picture, pretty painted balls up on the windows of the second story of the 211 Club, 2nd and Union. And I never got out of Seattle. I was on my way to anywhere, actually Alaska at the time.
Right.
And so a couple of days later, I'm still, I don't think I'd been to sleep, but I'd met this interesting guy, and so we'd been up all night gambling and carousing around. So he says, well, there's this place, Seattle Center, so we're going to go to Seattle Center, and just, it's a beautiful day, and see what we can see. And we ended up at some place called the Food Court, which is a food bazaar type place in Seattle Center. She's a secretary, okay? We meet this secretary and her friend, okay? And they look like secretaries. They got their hair all done up, and the glasses and everything. Okay, and then my buddy gets the phone number of this girl, right? So now it's about 6-8 hours later in the day, and we're buying some beer. We met these two beautiful little blonde-haired girls that were probably underage, and we're going to have a little beer with these girls, right? And my buddy, we're up at 45th in Wallingford, 45th and 2nd Avenue, where Dick's Hamburger is. Actually, a couple of blocks towards the freeway. And there's this gorgeous girl walking down with the sun shining behind her, right? Got hair all the way down below her waist practically, and she's wearing this very flashy-looking outfit, walking down, you know, caught my friend's attention, let alone mine, right? So he runs over and has to check this girl out as she walks into Rexall's drugstore or whatever it was, right? And I'm saying, man, this guy just, you know, he's ridiculous, right? But anyway, the next thing I know, they're out on the sidewalk, and she's just hysterical laughing, right? This guy's like scratching his head. And he don't have a clue what's going on. Well, what he did is he picked up on the same girl that he had met about 8 hours earlier when she was on her lunch break.
Funny.
And now, after they figured out what was going on, or he did, she invites us over to dinner because Lila was home cooking dinner for her roommate, Kathy.
Oh, funny.
And that's how I met Lila. Boy, that was a good meal too. I remember what we had to eat.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, so that's how
Very sweet. Tell me some hustling stories.
Okay. Oh man, I got a good. Actually,
You're starting to talk about Austin.
Here's an all-timer. I'm traveling with Cole Dixon back in '91, and we're back in Columbia, South Carolina. And we go to one of Grady's first Legends of One Pocket events, and that was real interesting. And they also, now about the time they have it over at the Sheraton Hotel, they had this big 9-ball event. And we're over there, and I get in some action there, and Cole, people are still afraid of Cole Dixon. Anyway, Cole wants to go visit Lee Angel over at Myrtle Beach, and talks us into going to Myrtle Beach. Lee Angel does, he's a good player and state horseman. And so here we are, we go to Myrtle Beach, and there's about a 17-day period in Myrtle Beach where there's really like a lot of rain, and the golf courses aren't really being used. So the pool was good, and there was a guy in Myrtle Beach that had just lost $20,000, and he was camped out at this pool room where your dad liked to play. And so we waited around for a couple of days in Myrtle Beach and went out golfing in the rain. With Lee Angel and Cole. Anyway, sure enough, this guy shows up. He has, what was his name? All I remember is that he was in the fireworks business, and it was really appropriate because this guy absolutely was unbelievable. Okay, and your dad's playing, I think, blackjack with 3 other guys, and they're sort of playing carefully because it's illegal to be gambling. They had a nice blackjack game going, and then if some stranger walked in, the money disappeared. So anyway, this guy shows up, and he starts playing his cousin for $10 a game, and he's giving his cousin a spot, and both of these guys are not even shortstops. You know, they played a little bit. And this Ralph Guest is a good player. He tells Cole, he says, "Hey, this is the guy. You want to go ahead and get a bet down." So this guy loses $70,000 the day we're there, and now we're like $5,000, $6,000 ahead on our side bet. There's half a dozen other guys side betting. it's just crazy. And we give Ralph about $3,000 that we haven't collected. He turns that, and anyway, comes back the next day. The next day, the guy comes back. He loses another $40,000. And I'm thinking, you know, we're going to win $10,000, and we walk out of there with $4,000 because we had to catch the plane the next day, right? So we had to leave. And so I see your dad in Las Vegas. It's about 6 months later. He says, Vince, he said, you know, that guy lost $120,000. He says, you should have stuck around one more day, right?
Unbelievable. Who was that guy?
This is terrible, you know. I mean, Cole, well, I'm going to have to find out. Maybe Cole's still got a memory because I forgot his name if he ever had one. But what a scorer he was. He saved the pool room in Myrtle Beach because the guy that the pool room was going to get shut down because of the lack of funds, and this good player, Wiggins, I think his name was, bought the pool room because he had won $20,000 the previous weekend when the time that we were in the pool room. So this was an interesting time. It was real interesting. Just a few times I was around him. He beat me out of about $1,000 one day. I put a guy in action just to watch him play, you know, and this is, you know, just a few years. Oh, could have been maybe 10 years ago. And maybe about a year or two before his death, I actually trapped your dad, and I almost feel guilty about it because, you know, but I only wanted to get that $1,000 back that he. But I got him in a game with one of the best players out of Seattle, and he's giving the guy the breaks in one pocket, and he lost $1,000 back, you know. But so we were even there, right? Oh God.
Who is that player?
He's here now. He's here. You might want to talk to him. His name's John Doherty, JD.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the best one pocket player in Seattle, probably in the Northwest, actually.
Really? Okay. You have to steer me to him. That'll be fun.
Yeah, he'd like to talk to you.